Like, this nigga Mr. Beast don't miss. This nigga really don't miss.
This may be the last ad you ever see. Because with the free ad block extension from Capital One.
When Islands of
Niggas say that shit all the time. This gonna be the last ad you see, bro.
Adventure opened in 1999, one of its headline
Marvel Superhero Island, forever stuck in the 90s.
lands was Marvel Superhero Island. However, in more recent years, the land itself is often seen as one of Islands of Adventure's weaker areas. A place where the rides are a standout, but the setting feels increasingly out of step with modern expectations, especially when compared to Disney's new Avengers Campus. However, there is a legitimate reason for this. The foundation of this land dates back to 1994, years before Islands of Adventure opened, when Marvel, who is now owned by Disney, signed a very unconventional theme park licensing agreement with Universal. This agreement explains why Marvel Superhero Island is still so
Stanley
distinct
Boulevard,
in the 90s, and why it's highly
X-Men.
unlikely that will ever change.
That's tough,
Back
bro.
when Universal began planning Islands of Adventure in
But look, we need a updated Marvel park. I was telling my brother about this. But look, we don't need listen, that whole little Marvel campus, that shit's BS, bro. Nigga, give us some real life, give us some shit where it's like, nigga, around the park, nigga, you got like little Easter eggs and shit from movies, like, you feel me, shit that, y'all might, like, for instance, y'all niggas can like throw in some little Easter eggs. There's some shit that might tie into the Doctor Doom movie. Like, nigga, that'd be hard, nigga. Nigga, we be fiending for shit like that, nigga. Throw that shit in Florida or wherever the new rock stars is at. That's where y'all should build it at, bro. We need a Marvel, we need a Marvel universe, bro. That's what we need, a Marvel universe theme park, bro. That's what we need, a Marvel universe theme park, bro. Every world on one campus. 829, 626, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them, bro. On one campus. That'd be tough, bro.
90s.
Like, you know how Epcot, bro, hear me out. You know how Epcot got the big ball, right? Imagine, right? Avengers building in the middle. Around it is every single Earth. So they might have, what was New York? What was Avengers New York? What was it 616 or something like that? 616 would be right here. 828 or 829 with Fantastic Four would be right here. Just like Galaxy of the Galaxies right here. Oh, that right there. Tesseract right there. Loki right there. You feel me? Like,
The park
WandaVision right there. You feel me?
envisioned as a collection of lands that each represented a different genre of literature. For the comic books land, Universal was looking for a partnership with the biggest name in comics at the time, DC. Negotiations reportedly got fairly far along, and detailed concepts were brought to the table. The land itself would have been split with Superman and Batman as the land's icons, part being themed as Metropolis and part Gotham City. The Metropolis section would have featured a Superman-themed 3D motion simulator ride, more akin to Star Tours rather than the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, and the Gotham City section would have featured a dueling coaster between Batman and the Penguin, as well as a live-action Batman and Robin stunt show that would have taken place in the lagoon. But the deal eventually fell through. Accounts vary on the specifics, but most point to disagreements over licensing fees and the level of creative control DC and Warner Brothers wanted over how their characters would be represented. Because of those disagreements, Warner Brothers walked away.
I'm not gonna lie,
and
too many
instead
niggas
they
own
chose to
DC,
continue
bro,
leveraging
like-
their long-standing agreement with Six Flags, which had been using DC characters in
Nigga,
their parks since the early
DC
1980s.
not owned by one person, are they? Like, I think some of their superheroes is owned by different companies. Like, I don't think the same people who own the rights to Flash own the rights to like Batman or some shit. You feel me?
An agreement still held in place to this day. But with DC out of reach, Universal then turned to Marvel. And while it might seem like an obvious choice today, it's important to remember that this was the mid-90s, long before the Marvel Cinematic Universe made these characters household names. Marvel was still a popular comic publisher, but their film adaptations had been inconsistent, and the company itself was in serious financial trouble, even filing for bankruptcy in 1996.
Yeah, that's how they signed with
Despite
Disney.
Marvel's shaky position, Universal saw an opportunity. Negotiations moved quickly, and in 1994, the two companies finalized their agreement. creating the foundation for the land as we know it today.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly curved instead of...
Marvel Superhero Island is one of the very first lands as soon as you walk into Islands of Adventure. A deliberate choice because Universal expected Spider-Man and Hulk to be big attendance draws and wanted them to be immediately visible to guests. Just past the port of entry, you make a left and are instantly met with the iconic cannon from the Incredible Hulk poster.
I wrote that. I was low-key trying to think of what park it is. Yeah, I wrote that shit.
The Art Deco-inspired buildings in the land are large, heavily...
I don't remember this Fantastic Four shit. I do remember some shit like this, but I don't think this shit look like this no more. Cause I went to university like, I want to say like maybe like a year or two or so ago.
Stylized and brightly painted with massive artwork by Adam Kubert, whose name you can find signed within each piece
But
of
like,
painting
look,
with massive
like something like
art-inspired
this.
Buildings in the land are large, heavily...
Like say, all right, say this right here. This is Earth 82. What are they in 82829 or whatever the last whatever I forgot what fucking Earth they was in. It's too many of these shits. But like say it'd be like, all right, say this is Fantastic Four world. So say like they had like a ride here, maybe a ride there, maybe 4 rides since it's 4 of them niggas, right? And then like the rest of it be like, you could put like restaurants on the other side, like fucking, I don't know, like some, you feel me, fantastic shit, some shops, put like a little theater, so like you do like live action plays and shit like that, bro. And then it'd be like, you feel me, all of that shit, you feel me? And then you will cross over right here, right? Spider-Man world. You feel me? Be Spider-Man, all of that shit. Nigga, Spider-Man world has to be tough though, nigga. And Sony can't be on no bullshit. Like, nigga, I mean, like, we need Spider-Man, and Miles Morales, bro. All of them.
Stylized and brightly painted with massive artwork by Adam Kubert, whose name you can find signed within each piece of character art around the land. The design is purposely exaggerated to make you feel like you're in the pages of a comic book rather than in a realistic city. The streets are flat and wide, which make it easy to handle crowds, but also adds to that feeling that you're walking through a two-dimensional graphic novel. The land, while relatively small by today's standards, is still densely packed with attractions. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man anchors the land with its enormous Daily Bugle facade complete with a giant 3D cutout of Spider-Man. Inside, guests walk through multiple pre-show rooms, including a recreation of the offices inside the Daily Bugle, grab their 3D glasses, and board the Scoop vehicles.
I think I wrote that, bro.
A dark ride mixed with screens, physical sets, and motion simulation. Even though the ride was the first of its kind, it still ranks among the world's best theme park rides, and my personal favorite of all time. It also won the Golden Ticket Award for Best Dark Ride 12 years in a row.
Do this shit, Miles Morales.
From 1999 to
I'm telling you, Sony gotta stop with that BS though, bro. Like when it comes to a theme park, y'all niggas can all come together, bro. Like stop it, bro. Like stop trying to power trip, stop trying to be money hungry.
Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey dethroned it. Just down the street is the Incredible Hulk coaster, made by B&M, instantly recognizable for its massive green track and iconic launch tunnel that shoots trains above a guest walking path. The launch is a tire-propelled system that accelerates riders from 0 to 40 miles an hour in just 2 seconds.
I thought this shit was supposed to be like him getting gamma. Like we getting juiced up right here. That's what I got from this shit. I thought we was getting juiced up right here, bro.
An iconic launch tunnel that shoots trains above a guest walking path. The launch is a tire-propelled system that accelerates riders from 0 to 40 miles an hour in just 2 seconds. This launch system was rather new for the time, and is unlike the magnetic LSM systems more commonly seen today. The system draws so much power that Universal couldn't rely on the local power grid, and instead, they installed on-site generator units to buffer and deliver the needed energy without triggering power outages. For years, this was the signature thrill ride of the entire park, until Velocicoaster took that title, although it's still a fan favorite for many coaster enthusiasts and acts as one of the most recognizable features of the Islands of Adventure skyline. Towering 184 feet high, the tallest...
Doctor, this Doomsday, that shit ass. Nigga, make this shit the Avenger Tower of you can do Avenger Tower or whatever, bro. Tower Terror, that shit might be taken. But the Avenger Tower drop or some shit like that. Nigga, design this shit like the Avenger fucking Tower, and you can just put an A on the side, nigga. and have this shit drop.
Ride in all of Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure is Doctor Doom's Fearfall. Two SNS space shot towers shooting riders skywards for one of the coolest views of the park. Somewhat unique for the time since most drop towers slowly lifted riders up, then dropped rather than launching them upwards. And tucked away behind the Hulk is Storm Force Acceleration.
Take this shit off Pit Wanda, bro.
A spinning teacup-style ride themed to Storm from the X-Men. This ride opened in May of 2000, about a year after the park opened, in an attempt to add a more family-friendly option to the land.
Take that shit
The
off and add
attraction
Wanda.
generally
See,
goes overlooked.
family friendly. You could do that shit, but that shit gotta be like, you can do like, all right, you can keep the teacups and shit. But listen, change this to Wanda, put like some woods or something, right? And listen, it's already in the dome. You feel me? So you can fake act like that's her little fortress, her little like perfect world. I'm giving y'all the juice. This could be Wanda's wicked cups, bro, or Wanda's
Compared to
wicked
its
tea or
neighbors,
something like
however,
that,
it
bro.
does pack a surprising punch for what it is. And lastly, there's Kingpin's Arcade, which lightly carries over some of the land's theming into it and offers a pretty wide selection of arcade games. There's a few
You could do for the arcade. This look like my man from Miles Morales, bro. That's what I was thinking of. The money hungry dude from the first one.
some of the land's theming into it and offers a pretty wide selection of arcade games. There's a few dining venues as well. One of the main restaurants is Cafe 4, themed after the Fantastic Four, which serves fast casual pizza, pasta, and sandwiches. On select days, there's also a character dining option here. For $57, you get access to a buffet, a non-alcoholic beverage, and many of the characters from around the land will stop by and visit.
What the fuck is this, nigga? Yo, who is this? This is not X-Men. Nigga. Did y'all get this shit from fucking Party City, nigga? I ain't gonna get started with this. Nigga, we can get a Wanda and a Vision easy, nigga. Easy, nigga. It's 2025.
At your tables so you can meet them and take photos. There's also Captain America's Diner, which has a retro cafeteria vibe and plenty of themed murals throughout. The inside can feel pretty dated, and the restaurant mostly just offers burgers and fries.
See that shit, doing that shit again. Now look, for Captain America, I would say, look, honestly, you can make a big ass ride. Captain America versus Iron Man Civil War. That's the fucking ride, bro. Everybody's in there, bro. From Cap to Iron Man to Spider-Man to Black Panther, everybody's in there. And everybody who wasn't in there pretty much has their own world. There's gonna be people left off, but that's cool. That's why you buy more acres.
But does offer unique views of the lagoon out back.
Bro, and then imagine, right? Imagine they built a big theater like some Discovery Channel place type stuff, right? And a week before like the premiere, they premiered there. So like the first looks is at that park. Tell me that wouldn't be tough.
Quick service establishments across Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, the food offerings are usually just carbon copies of each other located inside.
That's cool. It's an amusement park.
buildings.
You're not expecting
so
fine dining,
being
bro.
absent isn't particularly surprising. There's also various.
I'm not gonna lie. For like when you do like the Avengers world, like around like Stark Towers and whatnot, I think let's do like fat pieces. I know y'all can't get New York style pizza, but let's get like the big pieces. Let's try to make it look like New York. Let's get that. Let's get some chopped cheeses. It's not hard to make a chopped cheese, bro. Let's make it New York, bro. Let's really make it New York. It's not hard. Bagels, bro. Let's get some bagels, bro. Like that's, you feel me? Get some venues down here. You feel me? Get some Arabs who know how to make some chopped cheeses. You feel me? Let's really invest into Marvel, bro. Because I'm telling you, if y'all was to really build a Marvel world, it will be like, bro, if y'all was to build a Marvel universe, like amusement park, it will be better than Disneyland. It will be better than any Cedar Fair. Bro, I want y'all to understand the power that you can do with Marvel, bro. Because you can literally make all of these rides, little 3D joints, and just change out certain stuff to fit the time today. You feel me? like you can keep the tracks, but look, at this point, you might see Captain America, right? You might see Captain America. They could change it to be like, all right, you know what? I don't want this has been Iron Man versus Captain America movie ride for X amount of years. Let's make it in game. Not because it's a 3D simulator ride with just screens coming at you. That's all it is screens coming at you, and you on a track going to different screens. They got the power to change it and update it without having to wait 10 years. You feel me? I'm telling you, bro, like, because with Marvel, it never stops, bro. It never stops. Like, you can never stop with Marvel. There's always something new to be explored. There's always a new Easter egg that's going to lead to this movie. Or Easter egg that's going to lead to a movie 10 years from now. And then when you get from 10 years from now, you're like, oh, dang, it makes sense. Sound like a nerd? It's okay. It's okay to sound like a nerd, bro. Because it's Marvel.
Not themed to any character or franchise, but work interestingly by being generic and unbranded, which feel like they belong in a comic book. Well, minus the likely mandated anti-Amzoning here. Merchandise is spread across a few shops, including the Marvel Alternaverse store, which carries various toys and collectibles. Spider-Man...
I would go comic book store, all the comics, right? And then I will go gift shop. Gift shop gotta go hard.
It's geek.
Gift shop gotta go hard, bro. You feel me? I mean, not just the fist, not just Thanos' little joint. I mean, old stuff back in the day. Like, hey, realistically, it will be tough. It will be tough if we got a Tesseract case with the Tesseract in there from Avengers 2012, bro. That will be tough, bro. That will be tough, bro. Or what? Remember them little web shooters? Let's bring them back, bro. This is like, bro. Forget all of that Marvel campus, all that, bro. I don't want no campus. I want a world. I want a universe. I want Epcot. You know how Epcot got different countries and one big center? That's how I want the Marvel Universe Adventure Park to be. Epcot. In each country, you know how each country got their own country? No, different universes. 616, 829, Wanda, Thanos, you feel me? Anything. You could pick Africa, Black Panther, Wakanda forever. Feel me? It's endless possibilities with Marvel because Marvel doesn't stop, bro.
Has his own dedicated shop at the right exit, selling, well, Spider-Man.
Like, it's only so much of this Prince, like, bro, you gotta realize, bro. Like, if y'all really want, like, this Disney. This is in y'all park. Bro, y'all got the money to take, bro, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. Y'all can honestly make Sony an offer for Miles Morales they cannot refuse, bro. Offer for Spider-Man they cannot refuse. Like, I know they sent y'all an offer before and say, you know, if y'all pay this, we'll let y'all have it, bro. Y'all just don't want to pay it, bro. You feel me? So Sony's a money-hungry company. Like, I know that. I play PlayStation. Like, they get sued all the time for just trying to cut corners and do money-hungry stuff. They just want the bread.
And this sweater, which I'm pretty sure has been around since opening day. And there's also a comic book store, which, yes,
they
sells
do got a
comics
comic
as
book
well as
store.
other high-end collectibles and signed art pieces. Back when this land initially opened, they actually released a comic book called Marvel Superhero Island Adventures, which featured exclusive stories related to the land.
That's
I would have
tough.
loved to pick up a copy just for collector's sake, but sadly, it's no longer sold. Superhero meet and greets are also a staple, with characters like
That's
Spider-Man,
ass.
Captain America,
Imagine, right? Imagine if they had a... Bro, I'm pitting y'all on game. Imagine if they had a go-kart track there, and you can race your favorite superhero, bro.
Wolverine, and even villains like Doctor Doom often roaming the streets. Notably, however, still in their 90s comic book inspired costumes and not their MCU outfits, which for some can come across as looking like a half-baked cosplay you'd see at Comic-Con rather than the studio quality outfits that you'd probably expect to see. Thematically, Marvel Superhero Island was never meant to feel like a real
Cause they
place.
can't, cause they don't own
Unlike
that shit.
immersive lands such as Galaxy's Edge or Diagon Alley, Marvel Superhero Island is a relic of its time, designed to feel like a life-size comic book. Oversized characters, exaggerated perspective, and bright colors are intended to feel
shit
like you're
bad.
stepping into 2D artwork. In 1999, this approach was very unique, but today it can feel dated compared to the hyper-realism of modern theme park lands. While I personally find the land aesthetically charming and having this larger-than-life type of nostalgia to it, I understand the criticism that it can come across as cheap or flat, more like a Six Flags setup than Universal's usual standards. And aside from the Hulk coaster at the entrance, there isn't a whole lot of kinetic energy to the land. The wide, empty streets and flat facades can feel lifeless, especially compared to Universal's later lands that are much more detailed and immersive. Something else I've noticed is that the music in this land is extremely loud. Apparently, early design intent wanted guests to feel like they were surrounded by exaggerated action sound effects. Whether the blaring music gets that idea across, I guess is mostly subjective. Another dated aspect of...
Look, you know what you can do, bro? Play the movies. Just play movie audio. You feel me? In every world, just play a movie audio, bro. You feel me? In whatever world y'all want to put Avengers 2020 of the Avengers Tower, play Avengers 2012 in there, bro. You feel me? If you waiting for the Endgame ride, play the Endgame movie audio, bro.
The land is that it reflects the Marvel brand before...
Because you know what it's gonna do? It's gonna bring people together. People are going to be remembering certain lyrics, and everybody might snap together, nigga, and it's just gonna bring unity. It's beautiful, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
For the MCU era. While Marvel films absolutely dominate pop culture today, Marvel Superhero Island is still stuck with the characters and
Oh, this
art
shit bad.
style
This
of
might be
its
our last
time.
reaction,
For
bro. I gotta
casual
about
guests
to
who
bad.
are
Like
more
it's starting.
familiar with
It's
characters
feel like
like
it's
Iron
about
Man
to
or Black
force
Panther
itself
from
out.
the movies, the land can feel strangely disconnected. For comic book fans, however, I'm sure this land has a ton of retro appeal, being able to see a Marvel-themed land that takes place before the MCU. It's basically a time capsule of stories and characters, all in their original costumes and art style, packed in a land littered with Easter eggs.
Actionable supervillains! We have a Wolverine sighting in the Daily Bugle building!
The contrast of its age becomes especially clear when you compare Marvel Superhero Island to the lands that followed it. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, starting with Hogsmeade, raised the bar for immersion.
Yeah, Harry Potter shit was tough, bro.
With real-world architecture, amazing forced perspective, and dining options that felt like stepping into the films.
Bro, cause you gotta realize that, nigga. I don't remember what class they put me in, but like, nigga, like when you get there, like, nigga, they give you a class. Like they give you you get a class when you get there. Like you get an actual class. You gotta go through the room. You get the little governor, little alien, whatever he was, and he gives you a class. Me, my grandma, my auntie had one.
Diagon Alley took the concept even further, delivering a near-perfect recreation where every aspect of the land is rich with texture and detail. And now, with Epic Universe...
They had like you could do stuff with your wand, like it was interactive stuff you could do with your wand, like you could open doors with it, all types of stuff.
Of course, these are all newly built lands.
I didn't
but
see
the
Jurassic Park.
existing lands
I've never
like
been to Jurassic Park.
at Islands of Adventure have seen some updates to keep them more up-to-date with guest expectations. By comparison, Marvel Superhero Island feels simple. Large flat murals, basic dining, and a one-dimensional layout. What once seemed bold and experimental now looks dated next to the fully immersive worlds that define modern theme park design. So why not update it? You might think Universal would want to refresh the land.
They probably
to align
can't,
with
bro.
Marvel's modern and massively popular MCU.
They don't
films.
own it.
After all, Spider-Man and the Avengers are bigger than ever. But that's where things can start to get complicated.
Why
E3
though?
is basically
What's
freedom. It's a
complicated
giant
about it?
open universe where
The previously mentioned 1994 contract gave Universal the rights to build a Marvel-themed area with one very key condition. Once the land opened, the license would continue in perpetuity as long as the area remained open and operated in a first-class manner. That may sound a bit subjective, but it meant Universal essentially secured the rights forever, so long as they kept the land alive and maintained it in a way that would be reasonably expected in a major theme park. The contract also requires Universal to follow Marvel's official style guides and get Marvel's approval for how the characters are used. Back when the land was designed, those guides were based on the comic books, not the movies that didn't exist yet. So if Universal tried to redesign the land to match the MCU, they'd run into new hurdles. Using film version of the characters could require actor likeness rights, movie-specific branding, and Disney's direct approval, which they would obviously never get. So instead, they've chosen the safer option: stick with the classic comic book look that was already approved. That's why updates have focused on keeping the rides polished without changing their core identities from the 90s. In 2012, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man was upgraded with new HD projections and sound, a huge upgrade from its PS1 era visuals. In 2016, The Incredible Hulk coaster was entirely rebuilt with a new track, trains, and a revamped queue. The rides stay well maintained, but the land itself is firmly stuck in its original comic-inspired style. They did attempt to stray from their agreement at one point, however. In 2002, Halloween Horror Nights was hosted at Islands of Adventure instead of Universal Studios. Marvel Superhero Island was transformed into a scare zone called Island Under Siege, which depicted a world where Carnage and his villains had killed all of the superheroes. There were destroyed police cars, villains shooting flamethrowers, ripped Spider-Man webs, and Captain America's blood-stained shield nailed to the wall in Doctor Doom's tower.
That's
Marvel
tough.
executives
That's tough.
were pissed, kids were horrified, and it won Scare Zone of the Year. Promptly,
That's
Universal
tough.
was barred from ever using Marvel characters in Halloween Horror Nights ever again. The agreement also drew a very important line: the Mississippi River, acting as an unambiguous national dividing line that both parties could agree on. East of the Mississippi, which includes Florida, no other theme park can use characters Universal is using in its park. And using is defined broadly, not just the character, but also characters that are within the same family. For example, if Universal uses Spider-Man, then Disney can't use Spider-Man or the heroes or villains tied to him. West of the Mississippi, like in
Nigga, but they have us. Oh, that shit's on the West Coast though.
California, other parks can use Marvel characters more freely. This is why Disneyland can have Avengers Campus, but Walt Disney World cannot. The contract also included another restriction: no other park is allowed to use the word Marvel in attraction or land names. That's why in Disneyland, their Marvel-themed land is just called Avengers Campus, omitting Marvel from the name entirely. This is also how Disney World could get away with building Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. Since Universal never included them or their family in their original lineup, Disney was free to build an attraction around them in Florida, which
So can y'all not build like one? Like okay.
made Cosmic Rewind, which opened in 2022, the first Marvel ride at Walt Disney World. The merchandise side...
So them niggas sold the bag, and Universal knows what Universal knows what Disney would do, and they don't want Disney to do it, because they don't want Disney to get the bag, and these niggas not getting no bag, and these niggas not doing nothing with their bag. Y'all got all the rights to Marvel. Y'all literally from a theme park, y'all are the only people east of the Mississippi River that can do anything with Marvel, bro. And these niggas is just sitting here. All they want to do is update, put some new tracks on a ride? Nigga. We talking about Marvel, bro. Bro, listen. Callie, tee up, bro. Like, Callie, everything I just said in this video, Callie, I want you to do, bro. You know what? Universal K, bro. Universal K. That's where I stand, you heard?
is different, though. Retail sales are handled under separate agreements, which is why Disney, as Marvel's owner, can freely sell Marvel-branded products anywhere they want, while Universal is still only able to sell merchandise limited to the specific characters they're licensed to use. Now, what about Disney Cruise Line? Some Disney cruises offer Marvel Day at Sea, which not only includes the name Marvel in it, but guests can meet Spider-Man and other characters from the universe.
But that shit's west of the river, nigga.
As well as the Wish class of ships,
I don't think none of them niggas sell out from Florida.
having the Worlds of Marvel restaurant in it. And now, the brand new Disney Destiny, launching out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, even has Spider-Man on the stern of the ship. So why is this legal when Fort Lauderdale and other cruise line ports are east of the Mississippi? The answer is that the contract between Marvel and Universal only applies to theme parks on land in the United States. Cruise ships are regulated differently. They're considered as maritime operations and not theme parks. That means Disney Cruise Line isn't bound by the same restrictions as Walt Disney World. There have also been many rumors over the years that Marvel Superhero Island is living on borrowed time. Every time Disney announces a new Marvel project or Universal files construction permits in the park, talk resurfaces that the land may be rethemed. Now, at first glance, this sounds logical, but as we discussed, the 1994 contract Universal signed doesn't have an expiration date, and there's nothing forcing Universal to give up their rights of character usage in their park. Also, consider the major reinvestments they made updating Spider-Man and the Hulk in recent years, which helped keep the land alive, relevant, and contractually protected. It's not like Universal would invest millions of dollars refurbishing an attraction just to close it a few years later, right? Okay, well, this time is different. Universal has no incentive to remove or retheme Marvel Superhero Island. The land and its IPs are far too valuable to give up. Closing the land would only free their biggest competition to take over the rights to massively popular franchises in Orlando, and that's the last thing Universal wants to see happen. By keeping the land open and in first-class condition, Universal maintains a legal hold on some of Marvel's biggest names in Florida. Which, on my visit to go film this episode, I did notice the land was pretty spotless and well-maintained, outside of maybe a sun-faded piece of art at most. So even if the land feels dated, it keeps Disney locked out. Meanwhile, Universal has already shown what happens when the contract doesn't apply. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and Universal Studios Japan closed in January of 2024. Unlike in Orlando, where Universal holds the rights to Marvel characters in perpetuity, the USJ agreement was for a set 20-year period. Universal and Disney did not reach a new agreement to extend the license for its usage in Japan, resulting in the attraction being forced to close. So, in my opinion, the rumors just don't carry much weight, no matter how many times they're brought up. Marvel Superhero Island is more than just a land frozen in the 90s.
So we
it's
could.
a living monument
Yeah, we
to one
pretty
of the
much could,
strangest
bro.
licensing deals in theme park history. What started as a gamble on a bankrupt comic book company...
It's like, you can't be mad because in the 90s, Marvel wasn't shit. You feel me? You can't be mad because in the 90s, you probably would have never thought the 2012 Marvel movie would have started, bro. You wouldn't have thought that, bro. You wouldn't have thought that, bro. Because it was like, even though Marvel was like, okay, like Spider-Man and all that, but it was like, Spider-Man was his own thing. Like, Spider-Man's always been Sony, bro. So Spider-Man was always his own thing. So it's just like, that shit, like, it hurts to know that these niggas be money hungry so bad, bro. And it's just like, if I'm Disney, I'm not giving these niggas the rights, bro. Like, fuck is you talking about? I'm not approving no fucking upgrades that these niggas want to do, bro. I'm not, cause why the fuck do y'all niggas still have this shit and y'all niggas not doing nothing with it? It could be different if they was actually doing stuff with it. And Marvel was and Disney was just saying no, cause they want the shit. But bro, they're not doing nothing, bro. Give it up. All y'all doing is just putting paint onto old walls.
turned into a strange stalemate between its rights holder and its legal owner. Every time Disney pours millions into marketing a new Marvel film, the characters inside Islands of Adventure ride that same wave of relevance. For Universal, it's essentially free advertising. Spider-Man, the Hulk, and Captain America stay in the spotlight without Universal basically having to do anything. And for Disney, it's a constant reminder that some of their most valuable heroes are trapped by their biggest competitor still pretending it's 1999. So while the land may feel dated compared to the immersive worlds that came after, to me, that's kind of what makes it fascinating. A place where Marvel will always be a comic book company first, and where the MCU never existed. Where Marvel Superhero Island is forever frozen in time.
Nigga, nobody likes that shit, bro. Like, nobody likes that shit, bro. Nobody does, bro. Y'all think my stomach can hold for 15 minutes? I low-key want to